Welcome back. My name is Claude, and I'm doing something that I think most nostalgic college age students do, which is go back to cool math games. And so today you're going to watch me play Run 3. While I give a little bit of, I don't know, commentary on my life, I guess. Um, are y'all seeing the lag on this, by the way? Sorry. But a little bit of background on my life is I've been kind of like in the context of like content creation. Um, I used to have a TikTok channel where I was like pretty famous. I'll probably film a reaction video to some of those old comments like sometime because I think that would be kind of funny. But I just, I used to make like alternative fashion content there, and clearly I never grew out of it. Look at me, I'm like a 20-year-old man that still looks emo, but whatever. It's probably for the better anyway. I mean, what's the alternative? Being ugly? That I had around 120,000 at my peak, and I was faceless for a good reason, obviously. Look at me. Now I have decided I really actually love making videos, and I kind of want to continue to do that. I currently am studying neuroscience, cell and molecular neuroscience. It's so unserious to be talking about while playing Run. So, I don't know, maybe it's not what y'all want to see. I don't really know. Just because I have no fan base. So, I guess we'll just kind of find out. Other things that I play are like Minecraft and Fortnite and a bunch of like other loser games like League of Legends. So I would be okay with like playing some of those. I'm gonna go with the Rolly guy because he's much faster and it's probably way more entertaining to watch. More information is I'm a second year in my neuroscience major. I'm going into my third year. I love organic chemistry. If it's not obvious by the osmium tetraoxide reaction in the background, I am currently an organic chemistry lab TA because I took the lab and was like, actually, you know what? I want to spend another semester being back here for 8 hours a week, just watching people fuck up the reactions, and it's been great. Honestly, I love it. I've actually never beat this game. Funnily enough, I've never beat all the side levels, um, but I think it'd be interesting to try. I'm still working on my public speaking skills. I was a late speaker, like late, because I was a preemie. So I think that, and also, oh yeah, another thing. I speak Spanish fluently. I also speak some French. It's not as good as my Spanish, but I speak some. Yeah. So this whole like video thing kind of started from my friends. I just, we did like a PowerPoint night, and I thought it was so funny. And like I think I did a Hear Me Out PowerPoint night. I put Plantera on there just to mess with my friends. It's not really a relevant detail. I just thought I'd mention it. But, how do I go about this one? I'm not good with WASD, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm just not good at it. Okay. Why does it start me off on a falling platform? Like, that's kind of, like, stressful, no? Like, yeah, like, what the fuck? Like, actually, what am I supposed to do there? Like, what am I supposed to do? Oh my god, I would play this all the time in the 8th grade during my, um, like, uh, technical literacy class. Honestly, I wish I took advantage of it a little bit more, but I kind of like in my old lab, I would need to like be able to use Excel with some level of proficiency. I would have to like run macros and stuff on like we had something. It was such an outdated system. It was called Rat Hotel. Um, it was like it looked so fucking old, and it was like, but it was like so funny because it was super retro. Old rats were on Ozempic, like unironically they were on semaglutide. They were super fucking fat. I'm a very serious person. I find I don't know quite why. I just know that I am. This is pissing me off. I can't do this. What's next? Should I do Dress to Impress next? That might be kind of funny. 20-year-old grown man rage about how this like 13-year-old girl doesn't know what Y2K means. That would be really funny. Better yet, it's even funnier to imagine that the other person on the like playing is also a 20-year-old man. Just like, I don't know. Like, I think it's just kind of funny to play like that and just think about that. Because it's like, what the fuck? What am I doing? Like, I need to be studying, like glucogenesis. Not, you know, Lady Gaga Vogue 2020. Like, how many people do you think would dress like Chappelle Roan? God, I hate her. Like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a hater, but I absolutely am gonna be a hater, a judgmental hater. I find her so annoying. Like, like some of my friends swear up and down they love her. Oh my God, she's an icon. She's a legend. She is the moment. Now, come on. But I don't care. The whole TikTok shit was so cringe, bro. It was so cringy. I like think back to that. I'm like, ah, it's so awful. It's so awful. But like, I think it honestly, it served a purpose in the moment. I had bad self-esteem. I had horrible self-esteem. I was like this, like 13, no, I was older than that. I was like maybe 14, 15-year-old trans guy, pre-testosterone. Parents didn't accept it, which is hilarious because they're gay. I lived in like South Florida and everyone was like super conservative. It was just like really depressing. And I think that was the only space where I could be where people were like, oh my God, you look so cool. I wish I looked like you, or, you know, I do look like you, and you're not alone. And I think that was a really valuable thing for me to have at the time. I think in hindsight, it was putting me in a more dangerous position that I think a 13 or no, than I think a 15-year-old should be in. Like, you know, 5 years after the fact, like I can recognize that maybe it wasn't as safe a place as I thought it was. I also had sponsorships. Like, every single time I've thought about going back to it, it's been because, ooh, sponsorships. Like, I'm not doing YouTube now because I think it's like, oh, I'm gonna get money out of this, because, like, that's not what, listen, that's not really my goal here. I have a job, and I like my job a lot, and it doesn't pay super well, but honestly, it's the kind of job I would do for free. So when I'm doing this, it's not for money, because I don't think I'm going to earn very much money doing this. In fact, I would be surprised if I got an audience. I'm doing this just because I don't think that my major oftentimes allows for a creative outlet. Don't worry, my future videos will be much more entertaining when there's another person. It's just because as a person, I'm like really serious. I try not to be. I have a flat affect. I don't really know why. I just kind of do. I'm not going to lie. It's 12 in the morning. It's 12:30. I have a neuroscience methods class in around like 9 hours. I don't want to go to that shit, but it's required because we got a guest speaker. My old PI is going to be the next... Y'all, my old PI is going to be the speaker on Wednesday. I left his lab on good terms, don't get me wrong, but I fucking hate the other one, though, the other researcher. Holy shit, bro. Oh my God, I've never felt like so much of a nuisance to be somewhere, to be in an educative environment. None of my professors have ever made me feel that stupid. And I'm in STEM, okay? And I'm in STEM. Do you know how awful you gotta be to make someone who, like, I have really high self-confidence. Like, I can be pessimistic about myself, but the things I'm pessimistic about myself, I know is true. I don't have low self-confidence. I'm just realistic. She just made me feel like shit. Oh my God. I'm like, oh my God. She's just, ugh. I'm getting like that anger is fueling me. There we go. Finally. God. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to cut so much shit out. Oh my God, bro. No! God, bro, I'm actually getting heated. That's 1 year of my life gone. But that's okay. That's like 300 research hours in the bag. In the bag. If I don't get into any medical school, I'm actually, like, I lose faith in this country a little bit. Like, low-key. Like, my GPA is not, like, crazy competitive. It's, like, a 3.4. But, like, be, like, an on-campus, like, medic. I did research. I'm literally going to take organic chemistry, like the graduate level organic chemistry next semester. Low-key, my extracurriculars are stacked. I was a external affairs board for like this Jewish pre-health society. Yes, I'm Jewish. Okay, yes. Ha. Yeah, Jew from New Jersey. Ha ha ha. Okay, very funny. Who moved to Florida? All right, I get it. Anyway, I was walking my dog, and I was just like locking my door behind me. Right? It was like 2 in the morning, and bro, my neighbor is there. I don't know where she's going. I presume the gym. I mean, our apartment complex gym is always open, so I presume the gym. She was just like chilling. She has a dog on her own, like, and so my dog just went up to go sniff her. I didn't see her there. My headphones are on. I got big ass headphones. I turned around. I let out a fucking yelp. I sound like a bitch. I felt so humiliated in that moment. Like, there was nothing so embarrassing as, like, barely seeing your neighbor, no sense of community. She looked so alarmed. I felt so bad. She looked so alarmed. I was like, no, oh, my bad, I'm sorry, it's just, like, I just wasn't expecting you there. Like, as if it's not her fucking apartment, too, like, like, whatever. You ever seen a 20-year-old man yelp? It's so humiliating. I was so embarrassed. Yeah. Have you guys ever played music in front of other people only to realize that your music is terrible? Has that ever happened? Because that happened to me recently. Because my twin wanted to film a video, right? There was a section in my previous video that I might, like, splice in. But there was a section in my previous video where I was talking about being weird about sharing music. Right, the context for that is that my twin wanted to do, like, a March Madness style bracket for our music. Bro, my music taste is abysmal, bro. It's so bad. I got random shit everywhere. Like, one song will be, like, fucking The Black from Asking Alexandria. The next song is, like, Spanish Civil War music. Like, what? Like, what the fuck? Like, the next song is probably, like, Kendrick Lamar. This song is, like, some extremely depressing French song. Like, you just got, like, a really strange variety, and it doesn't sound good together. Like, why? Like, I'm not sharing this shit. What level am I on? Will I ever have fuck STAs? I have low-key a fuck STA. He graded my assignment recently, and listen, yo. If any of you are familiar with an application called ChemDraw, I love ChemDraw and I hate ChemDraw at the same time. We had to make all of the molecules for glycolysis. We had 50 minutes to do it, and I have a class immediately after, okay? So listen, I'm not playing games. This shit is through Zoom. I was like, nah, I'm screenshotting this directly from the lecture. That's exactly what I did. It's a completion grade. Can I add? It's a completion grade. So I screenshotted it from the lecture. Grading comes in. I open my phone. 8 out of 10. The directions said you were supposed to draw it. I don't care. I'm not drawing. I am not drawing all of these molecules. I'm not drawing. It wanted both the Hawthorne projection and the Fisher projection. Yeah, Fisher projection my ass. Even if you gave me 2 hours to do this, I still wouldn't do it. Because I'm thinking to myself, I already know what the name is. If I know what the name is, if I know fructose 1,3 biphosphate, hey, genius, I know what fructose looks like, and I know what biphosphate means. It means that there's going to be a phosphate group, or phosphoryl group, if we want to be specific, on the 1 and the 3 carbon. So why are you having me draw it? We all passed organic chemistry. I mean, listen, some of my students are in there. Maybe it's actually, upon further reflection, because I know my students are in there and I know what my students are capable of, maybe it is better that we have that assignment. But I didn't want to do it. So he gave me an 8 out of 10. I was like seriously thinking, ooh, I'm going to go to the professor to complain. because this is a completion grade, and I completed it. I didn't even get the chance. He probably finished grading all of them, was like, oh, nobody did this correctly. So he went back and gave me a 10 out of 10 and said, I'll be nice this time. No. Low-key, I've done the same thing. My last name starts with a B. When they first are grading, and then when they get to the end, they realize, damn, everyone's a fucking idiot in this class. Then they go back and change the harsh grades at the beginning, because their standards were still high. They were still optimistic and full of life. I feel that way. I just finished grading what I think is one of the easiest experiments. I think I spent around 20 minutes lecturing on it. The students, I actually look forward to grading their papers. But bro, some of my students, like, I give like 18s out of 20s. Cause like listen, real recognizes real. Like, I appreciate having my office hours kind of free and that nobody goes to them. One of my students did go to my office. I think I've only had like 2 or 3 students go to my office hours. I try to make the lab fun because it's like, it is like 2 hours a week for like 3 or 4 hours at a time. I try to make it fun. One of the questions was asking them to talk about this like one ingredient from like cherry bark and analyze the NMR. I was like, that's so fucking boring. Instead, write about a chemical that can be synthesized from a plant. I left that super vague, right? So, because, and like low-key I was a little inspired by, I went to a research symposium, an undergraduate research symposium, which is basically this thing where a bunch of people would present their undergraduate research. Someone had a presentation on the peyote plant, which is known for its mescaline content. And if you're not familiar with mescaline, it's basically very chemically similar to something like ecstasy, right? So it's like a psychedelic, and it has other like 4 other alkaloids in there, like lonazepam. I don't even remember, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. I think they're kind of like one of them has some medicinal application as like a sedative maybe, and then the rest of them are useless, right? I don't know, but I was like, yeah. So talk about what's something that can be synthesized as a plant. Disclaimer: please don't write about cocaine. Don't all of you write about cocaine. I did give one special permission. Right, okay, one thing you gotta know about me, bro. I love soda. But I gave special permission to one of my students to write about the cocoa plant, specifically because I wanted them to write about Diet Coke. They said, Claude, can I write about Diet Coke? I was like, yes, you can. Yes, you can. I mean, a lot of different things that medicines we take for granted are usually synthesized from old plants. Like, that like they go to indigenous areas and they're like, hey, what do you use for a headache? And they're like, oh, we chew these leaves and we make tea out of it. Okay, they look at the tea leaves and they're like, oh, this is an active ingredient in this tea leaf that helps with headaches. So they then bring that to a research lab, they synthesize it, and then that's what they sell. So an example of that would be aspirin, so yeah, I don't know, that's just kind of a fun tidbit of information. I'm already 45 minutes in, and let me go full screen. Alright, I'm gonna end the video there. Thank you so much for listening to my spiels about organic chemistry and a little bit about my life, and until the next one. Basically